Alright, a couple of quick things. Guy at work's got a 2000 Chevy truck, and neither one of his window regulators, one don't work at all and the other one, I don't know if it's just real slow or whatever, so I went ahead and pulled the ones out of the Cadillac real quick since it's headed to the scrap yard of life. So I just kept all the bolts stuck in that deal there and pulled both driver and passenger side out. Now let's get on to what I actually intended to do, which was start stripping this 05 Cobalt. The car is supposed to be on the way here to repair sometime today, so I thought I'd get a start on this. The headlights are in dire need of, put you on the tripod, dire need of repair, or at least sprucing up and stuff. So you're not gonna be able to really see a whole lot. I'll move you where I think I've actually started pulling the bolts out of it, and then realized maybe I better, or I ought to, I guess, video this. And I really cannot see what I'm looking at here. I'm really sorry. It's really bright out today. But anyway, I took the 2 bolts from the headlight to the mount, and I've took the 2 bolts to the mount out because I know I'm going to need this, and it's really kind of still, instead of tearing it up, I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling the fascia parts off. And basically these are most of you've probably seen these before. This thing pops out, and then the rest of it comes out. It's kind of a lock-in deal, so pretty simple deal. I just got a bag. I think I threw all my boxes away when I cleaned the other day in the garage. Didn't have any extra boxes. But, thought I'd get this thing out of the way, and I think these headlights, it seemed like I've seen a video on pulling these headlights. You can do that without doing this, but I kind of need these intact, and the more I fight, the more I get aggravated, and then next thing you know, your headlights you bought are broke because you got carried away. Oops. Now, I do see this thing actually has a crack in it, but you may not be able to see it, but I'm not going to mess with it. A little crack isn't that big of a deal to me. It may be the guy I'm fixing. I guess I need to ask him, because it's actually got a little, can't tell if that's cracked or the way it is. Okay. Will this come off? No, it's still attached somehow. Of course it is. Well, see, I didn't watch YouTube on this, so I have no idea how this comes off without pulling the entire. I don't know if pulling that off will help or not. Well, there's extra pieces. Apparently this thing may have been wrecked before. Well, the video I saw, this thing just kind of half popped right out. Let me try that without getting abusive, because I need this headlight. Maybe I ought to practice on the other side. Well, it came out kind of like they said. And there's one single wire harness here that plugs everything in. Most of these are getting that way. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the one plug-in, kind of covers all the lights. You see how bad a shape that thing's in. So the nice thing about this is I can actually take it over there and get it wet sanded and stuff without having to worry about filling the whole thing up with water. Like the bulbs, the connections of the bulbs, you just have that one, and you could actually probably cover that up where it doesn't get full of water. But well, let's keep going here. Like I said, I pulled these 2 bolts out because I know I'm going to need this piece, because if it broke their headlight, chances are it broke this mount. But technically the 2 bolts that held the headlight in is probably all you needed to pull. And then I went ahead and did it, made it easier to kind of fight that, just to loosen those up. So. I don't think they need both of them, but in case they don't match for some reason, it's probably better to go ahead and take them both off. Plus, this fall out. If I need this bumper anyway, I may have to take this off. So, I'm not really sure. Snot rag. It's nice. Somebody leave for me. A couple of snot rags. Oh, didn't unhook this. There we go. Yeah, they're not near as bad to get off as I thought they were going to be. That video showed them coming off real easy, so I have no idea. I did not watch any further than that. I was more concerned about oh, I see why the radiator and condenser got damaged. Man, they're way back here. They're like right here somewhere. Wow. Seems like, did I actually watch a video on that? Good grief, I don't remember. It's been a week if I did. I see how the headlight buckets are hooked in. They're not that difficult to get out, don't look like. But the headlight bucket has the piece at the... I bet the fender's got it here. Ooh, I don't know. Just don't guess. I need to go get a 10mm wrench. So, I'll be back in just a second. Alright, let's see. Still not sure if you're seeing. Now this thing does not want to adjust and stay adjusted. That's better than it was. I don't know if this C4 will do it or not. Guy asked me when I talked to him on the phone the other day. He said, "Hey, I know it's not gonna be the same colors. Could you paint that?" Yeah, I could paint it, but how is it gonna be quite a bit more money? The odds of me being able to match paint, you're talking about something that sat outside for the last 12 or 13 years, parking lots and their driveway. I don't think it was ever garage. There's no way I can match that paint. Unless I take, I mean, we're just not, around here we're not equipped to have, like, take a fender or paint chip or a hood or whatever where they can, oh well, okay, it's faded this much and we'll go ahead and mix you up some of that. That's not how that works here. I don't have anything like that. Headlight bucket's easy to get out too. Look at there. It's 4 bolts. I wonder why these cars fall apart, shake themselves apart. Actually, I can't really say that. I am not cussing these little cars. You get what you need to get you by. These little motors, if you take care of them, they last, especially the 2.2, I believe that's what this one is. If I'm not mistaken, that's what this is. There was a cover over here, and I think it's in the trunk, but I'm almost sure this is the 2.2, but I could be wrong. This is a 4-cam engine. Or, excuse me, 2-cam. Twin cam, I meant. I'm sorry. I think the 2.2 actually had it. I know the well, here it is. I'm just not looking. 2005, yeah, it's 2.2. It's like anything else, so you keep the oil changed, you don't let them get hot, and just do basic maintenance on them. They will last a long time. I looked the mileage up on this the other day when I had a battery, well, the battery's completely dead and it's in the trunk and I didn't feel like messing with it, but I put my jumper pack on it to get it in and out of gear, because you have to have it to even get the key out of the ignition. It has to have a battery hooked up to it that's good. I did not know this, so it's kind of a pain. But anyway, long story short, I think they said it had 270,000 miles on it. I think it's pretty close to that. I didn't look at it hard, but it seems like it was. I know it's well over 200. It's over 250,000. I'm almost sure I saw that. So when you think about it, that's actually pretty good for what a lot of people consider a throwaway car. I'm going to go ahead and pull this other headlight bucket out. If anything, it'll show me kind of what I need to do here. I'm pretty sure I need the fender. I know I need the hood. In the front bumper, grill, possibly. It doesn't matter. I think it's all hooked up in one piece, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. So, well, I say it's all one piece. I think it's not. I think the black pieces you see here are probably hooked to this thing, and then the rubber part of it's separate. Again, never worked on one of these before. This actually had, this is the, sorry, you probably ain't even seeing what I'm saying. This is the passenger or driver's side headlight bucket. It's got this sensor. Usually that's outside ambient temperature sensor. That's what it looks like anyway. Yeah, you probably weren't even looking at that. Oh, let's see. It's so hard to see. It's so bright out here. I don't know what you're going to be able to see, because I'm going to have to crawl underneath and all around, try to find bolts and pins and stuff that's holding this bumper on. Seems like, is it bolts? Oh, and they're little tiny ones. 8mm? They're definitely not 10s. Huh. Yeah, the inner fender to what looks like bumper configuration, it hooks up with what looks like 8mm. Alright, go get another tool. may have told you this in the past. I hate stripping vehicles. Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's 7. I don't have a 7. I'm gonna have to go get something. I'll be back. Well, it's really not. I'm gonna back you up a little. It's really not near as much fun as one would think. I found 2 more bolts at the bottom that were also 7mm head, which I have a 7mm. But there's 3 on each side on the inner fender, hooked to the from the plastic inner fender to the fender, bumper, and then there's 2 at the very bottom plus a push pin that holds a air deflector at the bottom. The air deflector has to be removed also. So I pulled all those bolts out, and the 2, so it'd been what, 6, 7, 8, that'd be 10, actually 9, because one was missing on this other side, and one was damaged, but I got it out. And then there's 3 or 4 Phillips head underneath this very center nose piece. And then of course in the, where the fender meets the bumper, there's a plastic piece that goes in there that it kind of snaps that in. I'll show you when I get it off. I actually removed that and it still would come loose, and I looked down there and there's at least 1 or 2 more bolts that hold it on. Besides that, they really didn't want this fender to come apart, so it doesn't look, I thought that just held the fender on, but it looks like it's trying to hold everything. I won't know. Let me try to get this off here underneath. Get these, so it looks like there's 4 Phillips head screws, and I think they are, yeah, I thought maybe they were plastic, but they appear to be steel. Don't be surprised if it's been in a wreck that these things aren't damaged. But this air dam has to come off. The one video I did see, I do remember looking at it. The air dam has to come off to get to some push pins that are up a little higher. I could jack this car up, and I may end up having to do that because it sits pretty low. I don't have to be on a creeper, I suppose, but I still think I can get my big head underneath here. I might be able to without that air dam in the way. It looks like once you get these, where's my, I don't know what you can even see. You're probably not even seeing me. I'm going to try something with my drill here. See if I can get them out. I don't know if I got enough height. No! I may have to get a get my really? Yeah, I got it, but it didn't like it. This thing really needs jacked up. Let me get a jack. Let's see what we can find to jack up on, because it doesn't really matter. Wouldn't have to be off the ground, just be high enough to get my jack underneath, or my drill. Let's see if this is any better. Oh, look at there. Nope, I lied. 6 screws under here. This is body colored. Didn't see them. 6 screws. Sorry guys. Lied to you again. Air dam. Well, I don't know what. There's all kinds of little plastic covers and shrouds under here. I have no idea what hooks to what, but I do know there's at least 2 big old push pins under here we got to get out, so we work on those. I know you can't see nothing. It's just too hard to move that camera around just to show you pulling some bumpers and stuff off of a car. But I know I seen a kid, he did a video, he kind of explained it. I'm not sure that it seems like he might have had his old bumper. He replaced his factory bumper with an SS bumper or something, and he really didn't show how to do it, but if I'm not mistaken, he either showed you where the bolts were, or screws, or what they were, what you needed to take off first. So it's kind of handy. I think that's what I used. I'm sure there's other videos out there on it. I just kind of was generic on the Cobalt. The odds of me ever owning one of these for myself is pretty slim. Like I said, I am a GM guy, but that one's not doing what I want. Let me try this. But I just don't. It's hard for me to appreciate these smaller, mid to compact cars that all these companies are making. They just seem to do them as cheap as they possibly can. I don't understand it, but it kind of seems like that's the way it is. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking there now. I know that, like I said, there's a couple of bolts in that plastic piece I didn't pull off the other inner side. To get some stuff out of the way here before I kick screws and bolts and stuff all over. Or push pins, I should say. Well, it sure acts like it is definitely bolted. One more bolt. Yes, it is, and it's 10 millimeter. And that was after pulling all that stuff off there that's still on there. Wow. I think it'd be better to pull the entire inner fender. Kind of tell that. But you can get to it like this. Pull the inner fender. If they don't need it, I'm not going to obviously take it out, because it means removing the wheel pretty much, and unless I just have to, I really don't. I mean, it's easy to do. I'm not saying it's. I think it would be best interest to somewhat move stuff, but remove it. But unless theirs is damaged, I'm definitely not going to take it out. Just one more thing you got to remember. You're probably going to tear half them push pins out if that's what they use. You're going to have to replace them or try to make them work. And me and plastic pieces don't do well together. Wow, fight, fight, fight. What does it do? Hold the hood on too? Good grief, how long does it need to be? And again, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I mean, necessity always speaks. If I needed a car and I found one of these running and driving for $1,000 that was in decent enough shape, obviously I would, and this was the best deal, I would obviously buy it. But I mean, as far as like my wife and I looking for a car for us to take on vacations and stuff like that, this just isn't. This isn't my first choice, Yes, I have a Toyota. I didn't buy Toyota because I didn't like Ford, GM, or Chrysler. I bought it because the reliability factor, the resale value, the styling, the fuel mileage. I mean, there's so many things that you buy something like that for, and I've told you this before on some of the other videos. I had an we bought a brand new 05 Toyota Corolla S back obviously the end of 04 with a 5-speed, a little 1.8, not very powerful, kind of road noisy, wasn't very fun to drive in the wind, but we drove that thing 100,000 miles. GM replaced the battery, or excuse me, Toyota replaced the battery at 9 months old. The car was only 9 months old. The battery quit us. And believe it or not, it was a Delco factory. And then we put a set of tires on it. Outside of that, changed oil on it, used mobile synthetic oil in it. Drove it 100,000 miles. Never put brakes on it. My wife's a real good driver. No tickets, no accidents. Don't eat sets of brakes up. And we traded that car. We paid $13,500 with trade on a very used up BMW 5 Series I had. And with, I don't remember if I bought an extended warranty with that car. I don't think I did because I was pretty sure it was going to last a long time. And the Corolla has the longest running, not brand name, but longest running, one of the longest running anyway, car, you know, like name, like Corolla. I think that came over here in the States somewhere in the late 60s, early 70s, and most of these cars you can't say that in. Even the Corvette, who everybody thinks, well, it ran from 1953 up. Well, that's not entirely accurate. There was no 1983 Corvettes. They did not make them. They went from the 82 model year to the 84 model year, and it was a complete makeover. The body styles, nothing was the same on the cars. Some of them did use that crossfire injection, I believe, the last of 82, but outside of that, you know, they went with the overdrive transmissions. Sounds like a Ford. That was a Dodge. Power steering pump whining. Anyway, but yeah, so anyway, I paid $13,500 with a junk trade. They didn't give me much for it, of course. I didn't expect them to. But in the end, we traded that car off 5-6 years later, and they gave me $7,500 on trade. And this one's got more bolts holding it on than that last one. Matter of fact, it looks like somebody's worked on this one before. This is the one that was missing a bolt. And it's got 4 bolts holding this on, where that other side, well, 3, the other side had 2, and the bolt was in a different place. Huh. Who knows? But, and I'm not telling you to buy a Toyota either. It got 2 guys at work driving Toyotas. I think one's an 11 or 12 Tundra. It's got a little bit of a lift, dual exhaust. The other one's a dead stock. I think it's a 13, 12 or 13. Neither one of them things will start right. The older one, 11 or 12, whatever year that is, it starts and puffs smoke every time it starts. The white one, it's a little bit newer. When it's cold, won't start at all. It's kind of a roll of the dice if it'll start. And it cranks and cranks and cranks and cranks. He's taken it to Toyota several times. They can't figure out what's wrong with it. So, like I said, I'm not saying buy a Toyota. I just said, you know, we bought one kind of out of necessity, and because we had such good luck with that that little 05, we went and bought that 14 Camry, and I got no complaints about it. Besides it being black, I'll never buy another black car again. That thing's miserable to keep clean. Shows any marks, defects, swirls, any dirt, anything. And plus she parks in a parking lot of the hospital, so the thing is, you know, it's getting beat up. I hate to say that, it's only got it's got just under 35,000 miles on it, and the thing's getting beat up, but that's just the way it works. That's why I kind of want to get that other silver BMW up and going and have her drive it, and that way it doesn't matter if it gets beat up. You're talking about a 20-year-old car anyway, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I know I'm boring you, but I'm trying to get this bumper off. It's another one of the bumpers that apparently is holding the hood in too. Inner fender wasn't in there, it'd be a little easier to get to. said, has it been rebuilt? You got paperwork on it? Oh, no, but man, it shifted good. It's a good transmission. With that many miles on it, wow. I'm not saying it didn't shift right. It'd be fine possibly to put it into another car, but I wouldn't want to sell this to somebody and have them, you know, say, oh, well, if it had a good transmission. Well, I don't know that. I didn't drive the car. I've never heard it run, never seen it move. I don't know if that thing's any good or not. I don't even think, is this another one of them GM products that has no dipstick for the transmission? $5 says it probably don't. I see one for the motor. All right. That's what this bolt looks like I was fighting. I don't know why it needs to be so stinking long. We'll leave that up there. Oh, look at there. Fell right off. Let me move it out of the way. Okay. So, you have 2 to 3 bolts that hold that plastic piece on, and you got one that doesn't but holds the bumper on. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7 millimeter headed bolts, from the 3 of them on the inner fender, 2 at the bottom. That's on both sides, and then you have to remove the air dam or diffuser, whatever they call that, and that has 2 push pins. I think those 2, at least one of those bolts either go through it or close to it. It may bolt up to that, I don't remember. And then you have 6 Phillips head screws. Once you get that out of the way, there's 2 push pins on the inside there, and the thing falls off. So obviously it was easier to pull the headlights where you can get your hand down inside there. So pretty simple deal, it looks like. I don't know if the structure, it hit a deer, so I don't know if the structure here is hurt. Hopefully it has not hurt. I have not seen this car. It's actually, I drove by the house to look at it the other day thinking I could get a look at it, and they got it parked underneath a cedar tree, and I mean, like, this whole nose piece is covered under a cedar tree, so I can't see any of it, and I know it was on this side, so I really have no idea how much damage it's actually, you know, it's actually had. I do not know. So I'm going to pull the hood and set it aside and start pulling this fender off, and the rest of it we'll just kind of see how it goes there. I know it's going to need a radiator, possibly the condenser. I know it was pushed up against. I don't know if the AC still works. I'll have to ask him or possibly check it myself. And I'm going to go ahead and drain the radiator, possibly do that tomorrow, and start getting all those pieces pulled off. Hopefully the car will be here in the next hour or two, and then we can go from there. So I'm hoping I'm not doing this, and then they said, oh, you know, we ran into something, we can't bring the car over, because the guy's he's real decent and stuff. I don't think it's going to be one of those, but yeah, you never know, you know. But I figure for $350, $50 possibly my time, a little bit of time, and then me driving up there and getting it with gas and stuff. If it's a broken timing chain, I never did check on this, but I had to check to see if this is an interference engine. I assume being a twin cam it is. Of course single cams can be too, but generally speaking a double cam is usually an interference engine, but not every one of them's that way. Alfa Romero, I believe, their 3-liter V6 has 4 cams, and it's not, I believe it's not an interference motor, which is kind of, you know, surprise to me, but they engineered it better than some, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to get off here for now, and next time you see, I'll hopefully either have that other car here or have some more parts pulled off.